I'm just glad Ryan Reynolds was able to recover after, like, he had a couple of trash movies back in the, late 2000s. And the fact that he was able to recover and, like, become, like, a respected name again, man, hats off to that. Because, I mean, I've never disliked Ryan Reynolds. I always thought he was funny. I always enjoyed him and whatever he was in, even if the movie was trash.
It was, like, back to back for a while. It was just bad. They weren't bad movies. They were horrible. That's a big difference. Like, Wolverine Origins, Green Lantern, Blade 3, these are horrible movies. Horrible.
What you think was the worst of those three you just listed?
Man, let me tell you something, bro. I hate Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that might be the worst one.
Yeah, and that's saying something in the category with Green Lantern, but I'm telling you, Wolverine Origins is that bad.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Cinecism. I'm Eric.
It's your boy Dante, man, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Netflix original movie, The Adam Project.
This movie is about a future pilot named Adam. He's on a run from some evil corporation at the start of the movie, and he ends up going through a wormhole and traveling back in time and meeting his younger 12-year-old self to basically try to take down or stop events in the past from happening in the development of this time-traveling technology. So yeah, they're trying to stop Maya from taking over this technology and basically, for lack of better phrasing, taking over the world.
On top of that, we kind of get to know more about Adam and his family. Like, apparently, his father has passed away in recent years in this current timeline with the younger self. That's the one that we start the movie with. He got going through a tough time, man. I think at this point in his life, he's still very much hurt by the loss of his father. And it was interesting to see kind of his family at a stage right now trying to pick up the pieces of all of that. And then that's when his future self kind of comes almost at a real pivotal time. He gets to talk a lot to his younger self in this movie about, I guess, the regrets that he has as an older man. It's not trying to be too deep, but I did think that some moments in here were actually pretty heartfelt and very, very, very deep, actually, so to speak.
Yeah, man, Adam is this future pilot who accidentally traveled back in time. Like Dante mentioned, he's kind of meeting himself at a pivotal point in his life where he's having a hard time dealing with loss, and he's kind of not appreciative of his mother. He's getting bullied constantly by kids at school and getting suspended and stuff, which is wild to me, getting suspended for getting your ass whooped. So I
could not believe
So you get beat up at school, then you get suspended, and then you get talked to by your parent for getting beat up at school.
Yeah, that was actually
damn, bro.
I mean, that happens all the time.
I know,
like technically they view it as y'all were in a fight together, but that kid that beat him up, he wasn't even in the principal's office. Dog, it won't no consequences. So what the fuck did I do wrong?
I don't be understanding that.
I didn't get that at all. I guess because he's like known for talking shit. The principal just like, nigga, fuck you. Like, I know you started it.
Bro, you can't put hands on people though. Like, what you talking about? Right. Yeah, that ain't how that shit works in real life. Who you think getting arrested if I'm talking shit and then they steal my ass? That always pissed me off in movies. It just be so unrealistic. I'm like, yo, y'all see this big ass kid whooping this little dude ass like every day.
All he got is talking shit.
Yeah, like what?
That's his only weapon. His life seemed
I was gonna say he's been through a lot of shit. Life. But we know enough to know that it's kind of miserable.
Prior to this wormhole jump, man, he didn't have much going on, but he had things going on. It just all went to shit apparently. But basically, his dad's old partner is the woman Maya that tried to kill him, and he's running from, and has presumably killed his wife. And you know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on with this dude. He's trying to travel back to the year 2018 because that was the year that Maya had tampered with the timeline already, so that she became ultra powerful with regards to this time travel technology. It's like she's the sole owner of it, which I don't know how they would ever let that happen. But I mean, it's not too far-fetched because we do live in a world of a lot of media conglomerate control, but that's insane to me because that's a mode of transportation and travel. He kind of needs Adam on this journey because on entering this new timeline, he had been wounded. He's been shot. So he has a spaceship that's designated to his DNA. So in order for him to get on board to fix it, he actually needs to be of a certain health, which I thought was actually really cool. I have never seen that before, but that was actually really cool. That's why he needs his younger self. Initially, it doesn't seem like he really wants him to accompany him back to the timeline he's trying to go to, but he just needs him to repair his ship. But events take place that he ultimately needs him to come back with him for his safety. safety. Dog, that kid was damn near more Ryan Reynolds than Ryan Reynolds was. Like, I thought it's rare in movies that you see where they have a younger person and an older person, and you like, yep, that's them. He literally felt like a young Ryan Reynolds, and watching this movie, I could tell you that don't often happen, especially in a movie like this where he had grown so much into like a kind of a different person. He still had that personality, but he wasn't nowhere near as snarky as he was as a kid. The moment he opened his mouth and started talking, I was like, that is a young Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, you can clearly see.
It didn't feel like he was trying to.
I know. I was going to say that you could see it was intent with how they wrote the character.
Yes.
There. So I'm glad they did that because, like you said, a lot of times you don't really see when it comes to seeing an older and a younger version of a person portrayed in a movie together. It's like night and day a lot of times. Like, you can clearly see there's a large gap in between the developmental stages. You know what I could have done without, though? Was the Zoe Saldana playing the wife part. Honestly, I don't really know if it served much purpose. I feel like he could have went back in time just for the whole saving the future thing. Their little thing, except for the little end scene, which I thought was cute, it didn't really add anything to me. Like, I felt like him and his relationship with his younger self and his relationship with his mom and his relationship with his dad was enough, honestly.
It's funny you say that. I didn't think that was even going to be part of the movie, honestly, that he was going to get to meet her. I thought it would be more something saved for the end where we get to see it. But I thought that was interesting that they incorporated that in the movie. Like you said,
just to kill her again.
Yeah, I was about to say, it didn't really serve any purpose. And really, honestly, he didn't properly react to that murder. But I guess he had to assume she was dead for so long that, it didn't hit the same. But yeah, man, I agree with you. It was unnecessary. I thought you could have I honestly thought that was going to be the movie, that his younger self, his dad, and when he mentioned the wife, I just assumed it would be something we saw at the end of the movie. I did think they would revisit that, but I didn't think she was going to be in the movie.
It didn't take away.
No,
it definitely could have done with
it. It didn't felt needed for sure. It didn't add anything. I will say that. Yeah. But it was great to see Zoe. I ain't mad at that.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people was trashing the CGI in this movie. To me personally, it wasn't the worst I've seen, especially like in a Netflix movie. So I ain't understand where the backlash was coming. Now I will say this though, it was one aspect of CGI in particular that was definitely looking crazy.
I think we're going to be here.
Catherine Keener? Oh boy.
That Gemini man.
That shit was unsettling. I was like, as soon as, first of all right, okay, so doing like the fight scenes, I was like, okay, this actually looked decent. Like, it's not bad. Doing the piloting fight scenes, I was like, okay, I mean, it's clearly CGI, but it still don't look bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm still engaged in the action. But when she popped up to her and talking to her younger self, I was like, oh, okay. Now this I don't like. At first you like, well, obviously, this ain't her.
Right.
But this ain't her. You know what's crazy to me though? How we can have technology like deepfake that looks way more believable on like just regular people are using this technology every day. And it's always more believable looking than when they superimpose people's younger faces on them in live action movies with a way bigger budget. I don't understand why it's so much worse. They don't move right.
Yes.
Your face is very expressive, not just your lips and your eyes, but all of the muscles surrounding it too. Like your cheeks move, like everything is moving a lot of times. So when they be standing there and talking, they got this deadpan like face where it's like limited movement. It becomes very obvious that there's some CGI being used. The point is not to whether or not they're using CGI, because of course we know that, but it's like we don't want to see that.
Yeah, especially when you got the actual real woman talking to the CGI character. I mean, that's going to make an even more obvious situation that much more obvious. And I think having that comparative nature, because you actually get to see the woman, see how her face really moves.
Yeah,
then you cut to this other version where it's just like, ugh. You know what else I will say, man, with regards to this movie? As far as the action is concerned, I didn't have any issues.
No, the action was pretty...
It looked fine to me. I mean, it looked, like you said, especially for a Netflix movie, I thought that it was fine. Yeah. My only real issue with some of these Netflix shows is they're either not spending enough money on the budget for the backgrounds. Like, in a lot of these movies, backgrounds are not there. Like, the people are performing in front of a green screen. That last scene where they were in that, I guess that reactor chamber.
Yeah, that whole final, that whole last sequence when they were in that facility, like a lot, like most of that all of that looked very fake. I mean, for lack of a better term.
Very. And it's like, I think about scenes like when in the Avengers Infinity War, when they were on Titan, it almost tricks you to the point where you might think that it's a real set. Like, obviously, you know that it's not a real place, but you do think that it could be a set.
It just makes you think about it. Like, whereas where it's more convincing, you're not thinking about that. You're more so engaged in what's taking place between the characters. But when it stands out like that, you can't help but to say, oh, this is fake. You know what I mean? I think that's what the difference is. Like, this ain't really that big of a deal. These driving chase scenes through the woods, bro, be tripping me out, man. Because I'm like, yo, y'all moving way too clean through this bitch, man.
Do you know you cannot do 60 miles per hour in any forest of any kind? That's not how nature is set up.
You're going to be fucked up before you get about an eighth through that bitch.
I love when they do that. I can't believe it.
It looks fun. Don't get me wrong, but just not plausible.
Come on.
Because the whole time I'm thinking, yo, y'all ain't hit nothing.
You know, kind of going back to the heart stuff, man, they really nailed a few of these, man, especially when Ryan got to talk, when future Ryan got to talk to his parents. The mom scene,
listen,
especially.
Man, I was, man, they almost got me, boy. I was like, oh, this shit kind of, we supposed to be having fun, man.
Right. It came out of nowhere.
The scene with the mom and the scene with the dad, like when he, oh, man, that shit.
Yeah, the Mark Ruffalo one, I felt like they were trying to, because he kept repeating this. He was like, I love you. He's like, I love you.
All right, man, go.
I love you. Right. Even Ryan was like, all right, man, I heard you, bro. The one with Jennifer Gardner, especially given the time frame and how things were panning out, like that whole conversation that he had with her was, man, it was so incredibly like emotional. Very real. Very, very real, man. You could really feel the regret in Ryan. And you know what's funny is, as funny as Ryan is, he's not known for being a dramatic actor, but I think he can deliver dramatic moments. And this movie especially kind of shows you that scene especially, I was like, wow, that's felt real authentic.
That was a definitely standout performance between the two of them, man. I enjoyed the Adam Project. It's a fun movie, but it's also, I appreciated that it wasn't a very long movie. Like I felt like it was just as long as it needed to be. It was a cool concept, not anything necessarily that we never seen before, but the way it was handled, it was in a way that I don't think we've really seen too frequently. So I'm gonna have to give the Adam Project a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was solid. It was funny. Good action and not too long. Man, this movie is so fun, man. It's very enjoyable. I mean, of course, you got a great cast in here. The action was very fun. The comedic moments were just hilarious. And like I said, I thought this was one of the best versions of this movie that you probably would get, just in the sense of the character dynamic with his younger self. I thought they had chemistry, which is kind of funny to say, but he had a lot of chemistry with his younger self in this movie, which of course would be important because those are the two driving forces of the movie. So you would hope that would happen. Man, they had some really, really good touching moments in here too, man. Like I said, it kind of came out of nowhere, but they were really well handled, man. And this story overall just got a lot of heart to it, even though it's a very basic story. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm gonna give the Adam Project a 7.5 as well, man. It's definitely worth checking out. I mean, it's nothing special, I will say that. If you enjoy Ryan Reynolds, you enjoy a good action flick, definitely would rock with this. That was our review of the Adam Project. Hope y'all enjoyed that. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any suggested reviews you'd like to see us cover here, please drop a comment below. Absolutely. And if you guys have seen the Adam Project, please let us know what you thought. How do you feel about the Ryan Reynolds movies as of late? How do you feel about the plot of the movie? How did you feel about the characters? What were some of your favorite moments? We'd appreciate to know that as well. Yes. We appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. All right, peace.